Alright guys, how's it going? It is Friday the 17th of August 2018 and you're watching KopTalk.tv. So, before I proceed, I want to give a shout out to Glenn Callahan, Martin Gill, VP 1975 and Dave Shenton. They've all bought me a coffee. VP 1975's bought me a few actually. He's my main man, he supports me big time online with my content. But these guys have all bought me a coffee from the link in the video description below, which I'm going to be talking about forever now, alright? I've got a lot of time to kill on Monday, as you know, coming up. I'll be in the city centre doing nothing while my son's in hospital. So I will now be able to go and buy loads of coffees at Starbucks and chill out. Do you know what I mean? Just sit there drinking coffee all day. I'm trying to make it sound good because normally it'd be in a pub drinking a pint, but I'm on a lifestyle change, so I'm being a good boy. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, seriously, I want to give a shout out to them guys. And guys, if you do buy me a coffee, I will record you a video of your choice and dedicate it to you, shout outs, etc. On KopTalk.tv. So if any of you guys have already done that, you guys have just mentioned, all you need to do is email dunk@koptalk.com, D-U-N-K, and I will record a video for you about any LFC topic that you want. Right guys, moving on from those legends, and I'm sure you'll have seen this news today that Liverpool have beaten Chelsea, Manchester City and Manchester United to this kid from Ajax. All right, now he's been training with the kids already at Liverpool, but Liverpool have now secured his signature. He's a 16-year-old right back by the name of, right, now you know what I'm like with names, right? Kijana. Right, this is it. K-I-J-A-N-A. That's got to be Kijana, hasn't it? It's got to be. Not pyjama, but Kijana. And his surname is H-O-E-V-E-R. Hoover. Kijani Hoover. Whoever. What do you reckon? So he's a right back, but he can also play in the centre of the defence, which is quite good, because if we ain't got a sweeper, we can play Hoover. Apparently Ajax are devastated that they've lost one of their star youngsters. That he's opted to join us. They're not devastated because it's Liverpool. They're just devastated that they've lost him. But and we don't have to pay like a big deal for him because he hasn't got a professional contract with them as yet. So it's only a nominal compensation fee. He's trained with the under-18s. He can't make his competitive debut for the Reds until he receives international clearance, which is expected by the end of this month. And like I say, although he's a right back, the suggestion is that Liverpool will concentrate on schooling him as a centre-back, a position which he's already comfortable in. He's represented the Netherlands under-19s. He's played 13 times for the Ajax under-17s in their league out there. He will initially join the under-18s at Liverpool, but is expected to step up to the under-23s in no time. Now, the reason I've singled this out for you, right, because I'm sure that a lot of you maybe don't get very excited about signing kids and stuff like that, and, some of us pessimistic gits over the years, the last decade, 2 decades, have always had this, oh, he's the next big thing. All these kids, it started with Pongoli and Latalik. Do you remember them two useless fucking guns? Right? Although maybe we had one contribution once or something. But do you remember the Pongoli and Latalik? Do you remember them? The two gems, the French gems. But then we've seen, following that, right, we went through this process of all our recruitment, all it ever seemed to be was kids. Like 13, 14, 15, 16, and we were like told, this is it, this is for tomorrow, And I think, genuinely, over a period of a few years, a lot of Liverpool fans, me included, were sick of hearing that shit. We were like, yeah, that's all very good. That's all very good, but the future's fantastic. Fantastic. But what about fucking now? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so, this kid may be for the future, right? Obviously, he's only 16. Let's see how he does, and let's hope he does all right, yeah? Along with all of them, bless them, right? We want them all to succeed, don't we? The bit that I was interested in raising with you was this beaten Chelsea, Man City, Man United to his signature, right? So Liverpool have beaten off competition. Do you know what I mean, guys? Beaten off. Yeah, beaten them off. Get fucking down. Virtually cost in the face. We've beaten it to the signature. But obviously, they don't mean that. They mean beaten in terms of won the race. There you go. There's another one. Won the race. Hey, do you know, right? This is true. Now, listen, before you spit your fucking coffee out. Coffee. Did I talk about coffee? Did I tell you about coffee? Did I tell you can buy me a coffee in the video description below now? Before you spit your coffee out, when I was at school, I was a long distance runner. I fucking was. And I don't mean after ice cream vans either, right? I'm fucking serious. Or running away from the police. No. I did 3,000 metres and 1,500 metres when I was at school. Yes. Fucking did. I was good at it. No, back page of paper and that. Fucking serious. I don't know what went fucking wrong. I don't know. You don't see many skinny kings, do you? Anyway, so listen. Right, so we'd beaten the race, won the race to sign him and all that. And the first thing I thought was, is that true? Because how many times do we see players signed and they turned down Manchester United, they turned down Chelsea, they turned down Arsenal, right? Well, maybe not. That's not a difficult one anymore, but we've seen this, haven't we? If you cast your mind back over the last 5-10 years or whatever, it was always like, and I used to think to myself, no, I'm not having it. I'm sorry. Man United are winning the title year in, year out, and we're being led to believe that this player, who's our third, choice, probably turned down Manchester United for us. And I used to think, guys, it used to be such a, I don't know, like I just felt like we were being managed and we were just being like patronised and stuff like that, right? So today, of course, even though this is the youth side of things, I was like beaten off competition, and it put me in that mindset, thinking of the senior side, over the years, and then I started thinking to myself, man, but you would turn down them clubs and have to come to Liverpool, and do you know what I mean? See how it's changed. So like we say, like, has progress been made? Like Klopp hasn't won a trophy at Liverpool and all that. People would say progress has been made, and a lot of people, me included, would say, hang on a minute, progress is judged by silverware and stuff like that. But I also think this is the new me, right? I also think that progress. I like saying progress, right? It makes me sound posher. Can be measured maybe in what happens behind the scenes as well. So away from the pitch is what I mean. So for example, I believe that the manager has made progress, right, with the type of player that we have at the club, right, in the sense that we seem to have good eggs at the club. We seem to have people that are very, for the team, for us, for the whole collective thing. They are collectively together. And there doesn't seem to be many individuals in this squad anymore. So I think that is progress. Right? Now, it might not be progress on the pitch, although I would argue that there has been some. We got to the Champions League final last year until that fucking idiot sustained concussion. Right? Don't talk about it. Let's not go there. So, what am I talking about? You know what I'm saying? So, like, what I'm basically trying to say is, at one time, you used to, be fed this, like, they've turned down Manchester United, and I used to think, no, they fucking haven't. Even up until recently, I'd think that. And maybe I still do sometimes, because I never really believe the spiel that comes out, especially from, obviously, the Offal, right, which is the official LFC website. If you're from the internet back in the day, 20 years ago, before all you fuckers had mobile phones and Facebook existed and Twitter and YouTube, before all that shit, when we were on the internet 20 years ago, we used to call the official LFC website. When it eventually arrived, it was the last fucking one, as usual, last club to have one, right? It was nicknamed the Offal. True story, that. It's fucking old school right there. If you know that, you're as old as me. Now, if you know that, you're a legend, seriously. But you won't remember all that. You won't remember all that and the KopTalk versus Team Talk battles with Brian Bentley, I think he was called. And all that is fucking mental, man. Hey, it was good times back then. It was alright back on the internet 20 years ago because no fucker could afford it, to be honest. It wasn't like free. You had to pay, to connect to the internet through your telephone line per fucking minute. You know what I mean? And you had to pay like 10, 15, 20 pound a month or whatever to access the internet, to have a membership. You know what I mean? Different kettle of fish back then, guys. You didn't have all these trolls and nasty fuckers snooping on you, all bitter and that. You know what I mean? No, it was a different kind of people back then. It was fucking good. Yeah. Anyway, we're digressing. So, why am I about back then? So, we're talking about, at one time you would think, nah, I'm not having it. But now I think, yeah, hang on a minute. Yeah. I even believe players would turn down Manchester City to sign for Liverpool. And do you know why that is? Right? I'm not going to say history or anything like that, because history is history. History's gone. It's fucking finished. But it does play a big part. And I think Liverpool have managed some decent signings during the abysmal years, if you like, since we used to be good on a consistent basis, because of history. I think that makes a big deal. Liverpool are a big club, and a glamorous club, even when shit, basically. And I think that people always look at certain clubs as being successful. Do you know what I mean? Even if they're not currently, if that makes sense. And there are certain clubs in football in different countries that I think that most of us would have respect for, even if we don't like them. Yeah. And I think people have always looked at Liverpool as like one of the most famous clubs in the world. Yeah. So I think that that's helped us in the past, without a doubt. But I think that people like today, Liverpool might not be as successful as Manchester City at the moment, currently in the league, for example. If you base it on last year, City are the champions and have won titles, and we have not. So why would they come to Liverpool? And bearing in mind, Manchester City could also, pay 3 times, 4 times as much wages as we'd be prepared to with some players. So it depends on the type of, the club Man City can attract players that maybe some people would say were mercenaries or only bothered about money and stuff like that. If you sign for Liverpool, money can't be high on your agenda, because while we pay well to those that deserve it, we are not one of the biggest payers, are we? Highest payers. So why do they want to sign for Liverpool over Manchester City? If that's an example, well, I would say that maybe some players think that they wouldn't get many opportunities at Manchester City as they would at Liverpool. Maybe at Manchester City you're just a number, whereas at Liverpool you're a name. And I don't know. I'm not digging Man City. I'm not having a go at them. I'm just saying, who would you say would be the club most people might want to sign for today? You'd probably think, well, City, because they're very successful at the moment. City, Chelsea, Manchester United, those sort of clubs are the clubs that you would compete with for players. And I think over the years we've been patronised many times. And I think now when I read that we have beaten some of these clubs to a player, I think I actually believe that now. Do you know what I mean? Am I explaining myself, guys? Do you feel like that as well? Did you ever feel patronised by it? Sometimes, we signed, I think when we signed Fabinho or something like that, or say Alisson, people are like, he turned down Real Madrid for us, and I just think, when you see stuff like that, even though I've seen interviews and comments since the window closed and since we signed them and that, even when a player comes out, I went, nah, I would never have gone to Real Madrid over Liverpool. I they've got to say the right thing, sort of thing, so. Basically, I don't believe anyone, usually. But I'm starting to think now, when I see that there, that Liverpool have beaten Chelsea, Manchester City and Manchester United to the signing of a highly rated youngster, I look at that and I think, I actually believe that. Because if you're that kid, now, it's not just like the club, it's also the manager, isn't it? And you look at someone like Klopp and you might think, wow, he's a good man and he champions youth. Can they say that at Manchester City about youth? Or if you're good enough, you get in. Maybe Manchester City have invested fucking zillions in the youth setup there. If you look at their the videos on YouTube and things. So I'm not trying to dig at any club in particular. I just think you might think famous club, good manager, going somewhere. I would maybe have more chance at Liverpool than Manchester City, which maybe is a negative on our part, because that means that we haven't got the depth of a squad. But I just think that now when I see Liverpool, if a player turns down Chelsea to sign for Liverpool, I would no longer be as pessimistic as I used to be, is what I'm trying to say. For example, Virgil van Dijk. You would argue that he had the opportunity to go to maybe Man City or Arsenal or Chelsea, wherever, but he wanted to come to Liverpool. And I think there are quotes out today actually that are making reference to Manchester City having some interest in him, but deciding not to. I think it's because of this new documentary that that's currently out at the moment. But when we signed Virgil van Dijk, and the suggestion was that he turned down these other clubs or decent clubs to come to us, clubs that have been more successful in recent years. I actually thought, I believed that. And I think he was the start of that, to be honest. I thought, yeah, I believed that. Whereas in the past, I'd have gone, fuck off, man. Fucking winding me up. Do you know what I mean? If they've got a connection to Liverpool, I always my boyhood club, and which we hear that all the time as well, don't we? I've always liked Liverpool. But, sometimes there are some players, that have, genuinely read through and through, would come to us regardless. I do believe that. But it's another positive, and I think we've spoken about positives quite a bit on here with fucking positive KopTalk.tv, rather than me sat here, ranting and fucking raving, getting that tripod out and going ballistic. Do you know what I mean, guys? So, yeah. What do you think about it all, guys? Do you understand the point I'm trying to make in this video? That now, yes, we're still going to be patronised. Yes, we're still going to have players saying they turned down Barcelona to sign for Liverpool. And yes, we're going to get propaganda from the awful, yeah, and all that, and even the local media, right? But I believe that we are now seeing more of these claims about turning down clubs or beating players, beating clubs to certain players, be the academy, kids or proven internationals or whatever. And I believe that more and more of these suggestions that we've beaten other clubs is actually genuine now. And I think that this is progress that the manager has made behind the scenes. And maybe FSG as well. Although I don't really want to get into bigging them up too much. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing now. But maybe the penny has finally fucking dropped and they've learned from all their errors. I'm not convinced, because I still believe that they're out for them. But that doesn't mean that they don't want us to be successful. I'm fine with that. It's cool. They're the owners who do what they fucking want, really. But I think we've also got to, they did get Klopp for us. They did make that appointment. They have made that progress themselves. They have progressed the stadium. We can't be anti-FSG. They are spending money, and they are starting to look like, own. I mean, I speak to a lad on Twitter. I don't know him personally. He's a Tottenham fan. I went with the S because I was going to say Spurs. And, we were talking about their lack of investment in their squad in the summer. And he was like, do you want to swap our own, your owners for ours? And I was like, and I actually replied to him and went, do you know what? I never thought I'd say this, but no. So, fair credit to everyone that's involved. It's not just the manager. It's not just the owners. It is a collective group. And I think that we've got a real good vibe around the club at the moment. And I don't think that changes if we finish fourth and win nothing. Not fifth. Do you know what I mean, guys? I think that we have made progress in the whole aspect of things. Gerard Houllier made a lot of progress at Liverpool. I believe that, and as did Rafa. And yeah, they won some trophies and stuff like that. But Gerard Houllier, for example, with the progress he made with the facilities at Melwood and modernisation and things like that, and then it just feels good. And like I say, the purpose of this video, although it's about a kid, is to cross over into the senior signings and the first team squad and say, now when I read an article that a player turned down a club for us, yeah, all right, there might be a bit of bullshit in that, but now I just think to myself, you know what, there's a fucking good chance of that. And like I say, I think that's starting with Virgil van Dijk. What do you think? Am I completely wrong or what? Now listen, I'm going now. This is a good 20 minutes long. I don't think I'll be doing any more videos for you today. I'm going to record a podcast, which will be available at KopTalkPodcast.com to my extra time subscribers. I'm making changes with the podcast. There'll be a podcast episode today on there. And I need to go and record something for DKB.tv, because these are basically the people that support me and make all of this possible. So I have to look after those people. And yeah, I've done a couple of vids on here. I've got to get ready for me my flight and everything. Got to pack some stuff, and that's that. So yeah, like I say, you can buy me a coffee now if I hadn't told you. There's a little link below in the video description, and I'll give you a shout out on here if you do, and I'll also, you know, if you want me to record a video for you about anything to do with NFC, then that would be great. If not, you don't have to. Just watching is enough support for me. Watching, thumbs up, because them thumbs up, they far outweigh those people that come here and thumbs down my videos before they've even seen them. You know what I mean, guys? Right, I love you, kids. And hey, this, you know, if I don't make another video for you before I go, hopefully I'll see you real soon. All right, so stay tuned, and I'll do my best to get back as soon as I can. As soon as my son's all right and out of hospital next week, I'll be back. All right, guys, I love you. Have a great weekend. Be safe, and you know, if you're getting jiggy, put something on it. You know what I'm saying? Hooray.